Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller prospecting, and it's Paydirt review time again. And this time we're going to be reviewing another Arizona Paydirt seller, but this one's off of eBay, and it's National Assets, and more specifically, their Desert Dirt Bags Premium Paydirt Bag. And I'll have to see how this one goes. I'm pretty sure this is just going to end up being a bag of Paydirt from a dirt bag. But again, we'll have to wait to the end of this video to see, but I do see some great big red flags from this seller. One, them being that they're selling on eBay. And no, not all sellers that sell on eBay are bad, but the vast majority of them are. Red flag number 2 is he has multiple listings, and every listing has a different logo on it to try and trick people into thinking it's a different seller than the one you just looked at a moment before. And Golden Paydirt is really famous for doing that, making multiple different versions of the same Paydirt, and that's what this seller is doing as well. But the biggest red flag of all is his feedback. His current score is 72 on eBay with a 92% positive rating. And that doesn't seem too bad until you dig into it a little bit more, like I did. Now, he has 74 positive reviews, 7 neutral reviews, and 3 negatives. And the negatives are pretty bad as well as the neutrals, but he does have 74 positives. Unless you look at them a little bit closer, and then you'll see that out of those 74 positive reviews, 24 of them, in my opinion, are fake because they all came from the exact same person. They're way too detailed. They're the most detailed descriptions out of all of his feedback, and it just looks fake. So if you take those out of the equation, then you're left with about 50 positives and 10 bad reviews. So it's not a very good outcome for him. And most of those positives were early on when he had his fake account posting all the fake reviews on him. Needless to say, I don't think I'm going to get a very good return on this bag of Paydirt, and what makes it worse is not only did I have my secret shopper buy a $40 bag of Paydirt off of eBay, but then I went and bought one myself off of eBay in kind of a little bit of a trust experiment. My secret shopper purchased this one, and I purchased this one in my name listed under Miller Prospecting on eBay. So I'll be really curious if there's a little bit more gold in this one than this one, because I'm pretty sure this one's going to be a really bad ROI. And I'm hoping this one might make up for it, but then it'll show that he's trying to force some feedback that might be positive and get a good review, when this is the one that really counts. But let's just flash up the description, go to the overhead, and check out both of these bags of Paydirt a little bit closer. As you saw, a really long, detailed description that tells you absolutely nothing about the Paydirt itself. It just tells you the materials from Arizona and you're guaranteed to find gold. That's it. In about 30 paragraphs, 2 pages, that's all the information it really tells you. The rest of it is just fluff. That's it, just fluff. But let's open up one of these bags. Well, first we're going to weigh them up. Let's weigh them up first. Doesn't tell you a weight in the description after all that. 6.4 ounces. And 6.5 ounces. So they are pretty consistent in giving you a set amount of gold or Paydirt, but they just don't tell you how much that Paydirt is. Let's open them up. So, looks pretty dark material. Looks like Arizona material. Let's check it for magnetite. A little bit. For 6 ounces, it's not a bad amount. And again, a little bit in both bags. Now, I'm not going to classify these down. 6 ounces of material, don't need to classify it. Again, I don't think I'm going to find a lot of gold in these bags. I might, who knows. This bag is the one that I purchased in Miller Prospecting's name. I'm not saying anyone who knows what Miller Prospecting is, but maybe he does, and maybe I get a little bit of extra gold in there. We'll have to see. But we're going to go get some water. We're going to pan this one out first, and then pan out the bag I purchased. So secret shopper first, my Paydirt, and then we're going to come right back and see if I found any gold. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was some fairly easy Paydirt to go through, but we'll talk about that in a minute. For right now, let's show you the gold I found. And there we go. This is the bag that my secret shopper ordered, and this is the bag I ordered myself in the Miller Prospecting name. Now, right off the bat, I can tell that I didn't get anything extra for being Miller Prospecting. I don't think he probably knew who I was, or he just didn't care. But let's start weighing these up, see how much gold I found. The secret shopper bag, 0.210 grams. And in my bag, .215. Maybe I actually did get a little bit extra. Maybe he threw in that 0.005 grams extra because of Miller Prospecting and he knew it was going to be reviewed. Now, for these bags from National Assets, they were really easy to go through. There really wasn't that much material. The gold was only a few pieces and it was on the larger size. The bag I ordered did have a couple pieces in the -40, but not enough to actually have budged the scale. So for a beginner, advanced, or expert panner, this is extremely easy material to go through and should just take you a moment or two. And I doubt you'll miss any of the gold. Well, finished calculating my ROIs, writing up my review, but before we get into that, I need to thank today's sponsors, which are my Patreon members. And it's only because of my Patreon members that I can do videos like this and buy 2 bags of Paydirt from an eBay seller with dubious feedback. So thank you to all my Patreon members who allow me to do these videos, including my 3 newest Patreon members, Mr. Pabloon, Plow Dog, and Matthew and Megan Strickland. So thank you very much for joining my Patreon page and supporting my channel. And if anyone else is interested in supporting this channel, you can go check me out at patreon.com/Miller Prospecting. And now, on to the review. Now, as I stated before, I had a secret shopper buy 1 bag, and then I bought a bag as well from the eBay seller National Assets. Now, both bags were listed in the title as original bag, but the ones I got said it was the Dirt Bag Premier Paydirt. I'm guessing that's the Paydirt you'll get no matter which one of his auctions you buy from. It's just, he uses different titles to get people to buy them. But again, neither bag had a guaranteed set amount of gold. They didn't even tell you how much weight or dirt you were going to get. But let's just pop up the numbers on the screen and show them off. So both bags, again, are original, no guaranteed gold. Each bag cost $39.95. They had free shipping, so grand total of $39.95. Now, the secret shopper bag, I recovered 0.210 grams of gold. My bag, I recovered 0.215 grams. The gold spot for both bags was $65.31, giving me a gold value of $13.72 and $14.04, giving me ROIs 34.34, which on my scale is a 3.4, and a 35.14, or on my scale, a 3.5. Now, for fun factor, I'm going to leave them the same. I don't want to really say they were less fun. They were pretty much a beginner bag, and so I'm going to leave them the same. I didn't think there was anything horrible about these bags of Paydirt that should really make them less fun. I didn't expect to find a ton of gold. Generally when you're buying something on eBay, they're going to use bigger pieces of gold to make sure you find all of it. So fun factors, I'm leaving the same, 3.4 and 3.5. Description, he's getting a 2. It told you it's Arizona material, and that's it. Nothing else in all that gobbledygook had anything to do with the Paydirt. So 2 for description. Quantity and packaging, 6.5, a 5 for quantity because he doesn't tell you. I think he might say it's 1 scoop, but scoop of what? Is it a 1 cup scoop? It is a 1/4 cup scoop? It is a 5-gallon bucket scoop? Nothing. It's, again, description was worthless, so he's getting a 5 for quantity, and packaging, he's getting an 8 for the typical coffee bag, 6.5. Customer service and shipping, he's getting a 10. That's where he shines. But typically, most sellers on eBay that give you very low ROIs are going to be very good at customer service because they got a lot of extra time. They're making more money than most sellers do, so they want you to buy the Paydirt. They want you to leave positive feedback. So getting a 10 for customer service and shipping, giving a total score of 5.1. Both bags ended up with a total score of 5.1. Now, I have to say, these bags weren't as bad as I thought they would be. I really thought I was going to get a 10 to 15% ROI. So I actually got a 34% ROI off these bags. I don't think that's a good ROI. I think they should be higher. But with eBay fees and things like that, I don't think they're horrible. It wasn't a horrible bag of Paydirt. Now, would I recommend this seller or buy from him again? No, I don't think so. I wouldn't recommend this seller. There's very few sellers on eBay that I would recommend. Every once in a while, one will pop up, but for the vast majority of eBay sellers, they're really not worth buying from. Just because of the eBay fees alone, it makes it really hard for sellers to offer really good comparable bags of Paydirt. And then when you have a seller who has dubious feedback and obviously used, in my opinion, fake feedback to boost their sales numbers and make it look like they're a better seller than they are, I wouldn't trust them. They might end up being a really good seller one day, but for right now, no. When sellers are willing to do things like that to try to get the sell their Paydirt instead of just going out and making a good product, I'm very dubious of them. So no, I wouldn't recommend this seller. And in fact, I'd pretty much stay away from most eBay sellers, 99.9% of them. I would just stick to sellers who have websites and legitimate Paydirt that I've reviewed. You can check me out at millerprospecting.com. My top 10, I highly recommend those. But that's going to be it. Thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, think about hitting the subscribe button below.